So Singles Inferno's reunion was one to watch. I really didn't expect there to be a reunion, so when I saw it, I clicked on it immediately because it's the first time that they ever had a reunion for Singles Inferno. And I was so happy about it because I really wanted to know what happened after. So at the beginning, it started off with Subin and his sitting together, which I obviously thought, okay, they probably a couple dating already. And then came in Minasu and Sangan. The two of them obviously looked not as close as Isan and Subin did, so I assumed that there was nothing brewing between the two of them. And then at the back of them sat Sangel and Minji. You can see the tension was there. So I was a bit iffy about the two of them, whether they're together or not. However, we would find out after the theater moment. It started off with showing Amina Suhu and her interest in the guys. And of course, the other girls were a bit shocked by the way that she went about things and the things that she said as well. So, of course, it didn't nerve for Minji because Minasu mentioned something about borrowing clothes and stuff like that that Minji asked for, and then for them to treat her a certain way. So Minji was obviously upset at the way that Minasu spoke about her behind the back because she thought that she was a friend or like genuine with her. So I was so here for the moment when Minji said, okay, they'll speak after this. I wanted something to happen. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry if you feel like I'm a drama starter, but hey, I was here for that. I wanted to see that happen. But then came the scene where they saw that Minasu was crying, and then Minji felt a bit bad. So I'm like, oh my word, why didn't they just cut that part out? Because I was so here for Minji just crashing out. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, moving on to Subin and Minasu's moments together. It was kind of awkward because Yisan was there as well. And then they showed moments between Yisan and Subin as well. And everyone was like, whoa, you guys were really close on your date and everything. And they were like, we didn't even think that we were that close and everything like that. But I think that started something, ignited more of a flame between the two of them. Okay, so the theater moment was over, and then Minji and Songil spoke. Songil said that they're still in contact with Minji, however, she mentioned that they were not. So obviously, I could see the sadness in her eyes after that. I felt really bad for her because I genuinely thought that she deserved all happiness. But unfortunately, she and Songil did not end up together. And then she had a discussion with Minasu as well about the things that she said, but Minasu was just dodging. She was just dodging, just trying not to be confronted by Minji again, because obviously she's scared of the way that Minji would react, because she knew she said stuff behind people's back, but as soon as they interfaced, she's like, she can't like stand on business, if you know what I mean. But because she cried on the show, and I think that she just cried because somebody confronted her on what was the truth, and she didn't know how to take it because she knew that was the truth. Okay, so okay, that's just my opinion. I'm sure other people think differently, but yeah. And then there was a moment that Subin and Isan spoke to each other as well, and it was really cute. Also kind of sad because they mentioned the miscommunication and misunderstandings, things like that. However, they decided that they were going to go maybe see each other again after that. So I was happy about that. I was really rooting for them. And then I switched over to Goyen, Sangbin, Iguan, Yenhuo. Koyena was watching the series of romances with the guys. But what stood out the most was the moments between her and Iguan. It was like quiet in the theater because everybody felt the tension, obviously. And Yanamu was quite quiet during those moments because I feel like he probably still feel a bit hurt that she didn't choose him. And Salmin, you could see that I didn't really know if they were on or off. However, they seemed friendly with each other, but at the end of it, I saw that Salmin was a bit jealous about the way that Iguan and Goyen stayed 20s. Like, obviously, you could see that there was something more there, but he just doesn't know why she didn't choose him. And he also pointed out the fact that they were wearing similar clothing, like they looked to match. And I was thinking the same thing when Iguan walked in with his grey suit on as well as Goyen. So I think during that time, they realized their feelings for each other because Goyen couldn't really look Iguan in the eye, and when she did, he pointed it out that that's finally the first time that she looked him in the eye. And then they had a little discussion after Sangmin mentioned that him and Goyen were not compatible with each other, and she mentioned as well, like, they're the same person, so they would clash. And also, Iguan and Goyen had a little conversation where they kind of figured that, okay, there's something between them that maybe they need to explore. So he mentioned that they should get dinner after that. And they did, and I was so shocked because, like, guys, I was like blushing for them. That little date was so cute between the two of them. Like, he really expressed himself even more because she said that she felt like he didn't express himself. But the others were like, no, he really did. And I think he just wanted to point blank make it clear that, hey, I like you. And I think that she also confirmed that she liked him during that time as well. Let's just move on to Triang Jaejin, Yan Jae. However, how it looked like Triang and Jaejin were really, really close. Like, there was undeniable chemistry between the two. And it showed on screen as well. You could see that Jaejin was a bit jealous when it showed the screen between Triang and Yan Jae. He also saw that Yan Jae was also quite smooth with the things he said, but everyone knew that Jaejin was the one for Triang. They also mentioned that they went on a couple of dates as well. So I was happy that the relationship was still going very strong between the two of them. There's not much to say, like we knew that they would end up together. So let's move on. The next day, they went on the trip with everybody included. And when I tell you that the outfit was on point, like everybody looked so good. Out of Inferno, like the outfits, everything was looking just amazing for me. Like I really loved the outfits that they put together. They looked different from how they looked on the show. And there was a scene where Yisan and Subin were driving together, and all of a sudden, Yisan was really like flirty or touchy-feely with Subin. So there was a moment where she held his hand in the car as well, and you could see that Subin was getting a bit nervous about it, but he like smiled all the way. And she was very flirtatious with him, and I enjoyed every second of it. And then it got to the point where everybody got to the house as well. They all got on along really well. But the main attraction was Subin and Yisan, since they were like the ultimate couple in the house. Just hide and hooked. Jay was really, how can I say, his personality really shone through this time. And like they showed on the show, like he was really funny. That's just a side note I wanted to put out there. He showed a side of him that he didn't show on the show, and I was so here for it. Okay? And then there was a moment as well where Mina Su brought the girls together, and she just wanted to mention, like, guys, there's things that I said that I didn't mean, and I hope that you guys don't take it the wrong way. But, I was like, we all knew that you meant exactly what you said. So I was a bit annoyed by that saying, like, oh, are you like serious right now? I just didn't have time for Minasu to be the main character as she always wanted to be. I was just here for Subin and his son. So everyone teased the two of them when they were together because they were like joined at the hip, and it was so cute for me. So there was a moment where Sangan mentioned to Subin how his son was in America with her friends and they got a bit drunk. And he mentioned how she is a good dame when she's like that. And his son thought that Subin was a bit annoyed by that because he didn't expect to know that about him or know that she's that kind of a person. And she felt really sad in that moment because she felt like maybe he's judging me and don't wanting to see me in a different light. And I think she was overthinking at that moment because she just got him and she didn't want to lose him again. Because she didn't wanting to see her in another light. So they got to a moment where they spoke again. She asked him if he's upset. And he's like, no, he's not upset. If that's how she is and that's what brings her joy, her happiness, having fun with her friends, then she can do it. He doesn't feel away, and I think that sort of things out between the two of them. And then there was also a scene where his son and Subin took a picture and at the mirror, and Subin came up behind her, and I was like squealing. I was so excited when I saw that moment. Like, what? I didn't expect to see that kind of physical contact because you don't usually see that on Tiffles Inferno. So that was a real surprise for me, but I was like so happy for the two of them. And then there was also a moment like where they looked at each other. Subin touched his bottom lip and his bit hers. So it almost like insinuating that they wanted to maybe, kiss each other or I don't know. But that moment was really tense filled and I was like, oh guys, should everybody just leave the room? But I was loving every second of it. Then came a moment where they were alone and I thought, what's going to happen now? But she mentioned like her insecurities and how sad she felt that he didn't really reach out to her as much and he left her in her own thoughts without responding to her. And he mentioned how he thought that it probably wouldn't work out because of the distance and things, but then they sorted it out and it was really cute and I loved that they spoke through it and they also held their hands, which was really cute. So I could see that now the two of them really are in love with each other. And I'm sorry that I'm just speaking about the two of them, but I was really just invested in their relationship. If Iguan was there, I would probably also be invested in Iguan and Goyen's relationship as well, but that would have been interesting to watch. Okay guys, so thank you so much for coming to the end of the video with me and listening to my review of Signals Inferno's Reunion. If you want me to review any other series or movies, please let me know down in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more and thank you so much for watching. Bye.